Hello, greetings, welcome to the channel. So I'm going to call this one Those Who Will Not Synthesize, I think. So there's an issue of those who have brilliant ideas, have worked on something for a long time, have developed it, but who are, I'll say, well, I won't say it, I guess, because it could be taken the wrong way. So I will say they are unable to synthesize, unwilling for some reason, too wrapped up in their own model. And what I want to do, well, here's one way that can be taken. One way is that those who do not synthesize may be a part of a academic community that in which you have to protect your inventions, your concepts, your research, whatever it is, in order to maintain your position in the hierarchy of the university. And that's unfortunate, I think, because my whole argument about synthesis is that it is a faster and more efficient method of innovation. And we don't have time anymore to play games in hierarchical structures. We need to solve the problems that we have as a community, as a race. Nothing more than pedal to the metal problem solving is going to get us through the coming disasters, as I see it. Gosh, this is not going to stay, is it? Huh. So, what we have to be able to do then, well, we have to synthesize. So, the academic model does not allow for much synthesis, especially if you believe episode 19 of The Portal with Eric Weinstein, which appears to demonstrate that there are many, well, and many of his other videos about the disc and whatnot seem to show that there is a range of problems in the universities and in many other structures in our society that are really doing damage to the project of synthesis, that are trying to polarize us. And so what to do with these geniuses I encounter that have good work, good effort, but whom can't seem to see the world through any lens but their own? Well, I guess I would first say, please try to get over yourself. That's hard to say. It's hard to hear. But we need you to be able to hear us so that we can in turn hear you. If you will only hear your own work, then you will not hear our work. And if you cannot hear our work, you will not be a part of the synthesis. The synthesis is finding every useful tool as quickly as possible and, well, it's like the amoeba project, absorbing it, pulling it in, stripping it down to its basic format and basic idea, so that it could be more quickly absorbed, and then if need be, the complexity can come along afterwards. In fact, I would suggest usually it will be needed, but it is not at the level of synthesis, at least at its raw form, in which those details are necessary. So, I guess I'll put it this way. You have two choices. You who are on your own in the world, who are not yet published, not in the university, you're out there in the internets and you're trying to bring your story, your invention, your research, your product to the world to help better the world. I say that you can do this in two ways. You can try to form a following of people who only iterate what you want them to iterate, which will not get you ahead. Well, that's one extreme. So this is a range. That's one extreme. Only allow those into the purity of your form who will only believe in the purity of your form. Something like that. And of course, there's degrees of that, right? Maybe you let 20%, merely 20% pure in. Maybe you let it, you have to be 50% pure, that kind of thing. Or maybe you only interact with those. Anyway, there's many ways that could go. On the other hand, the other extreme level, and I'm not suggesting you do either of these. I'm telling you to avoid both of these extremes. The other extreme, where synthesis passes usefulness, is when you absolutely let go of your work and all your learning, and you become completely relativistic. That is no longer synthesis, because there is nothing to synthesize, right? And the first pole is not synthesis, because you're not synthesizing, right? You're doing a purity test. You think you found the solution, and you're sticking to it regardless of what evidences should prove otherwise. Sorry, this is a mess. I tried to adjust it so that I wouldn't have this problem, but I'm going to have it anyway, so oh well. First level is not synthesis, because you're doing purity tests for who is in your group and who is not. The other far pole is not synthesis, because it is pure relativism, and therefore there is nothing useful coming out of it. It's just mud. It's just brackish water. I suppose there are some good things that can come out of that, but I don't have much hope of it. So the middle point is where your work is credible to some degree, right? You're humble enough to say, I don't know with absolute certainty. I cannot completely and utterly verify my findings, but I know there is, it's getting worse, but I know there is value, that my work has value. And I will say, yes, I agree, your work has value. Or at least I believe I will find value. I believe I will find value, whatever your work is. But if you are trying to reduce everything to your project, and you are not synthesizing in outside views, if you have to go through your filter before you can accept it, if you cannot accept another's filter set, which is difficult, right? That's a lot of work. Might be not quite as much work as you went through to form your theory, your model, your project in the first place. But then again, it might be. It's a lot of work. I'll have to figure this out. But if you're not willing to do that work, then you're doomed to the work of either doing purity tests or the work of relativism, which is not work at all. It's just saying, yes, absolutely. So join us, please, if this didn't offend you too badly. I hope it didn't, because I know there's a lot of genius people out there that are solving problems on different levels of analysis and different scopes and different ranges. And we need you, because the problems are huge, and the people in power do not outnumber us, but they do outgun us. So if we do not get our metaphorical guns lined up together, aiming at the right problems with the right aim and the right solution, we're not going to move this. We're not going to save Spaceship Earth before its life support system ends, or its ordering structures end. At least the human ordering structures. And I'd rather my kids wake up or grow up in a society that works and in an environment that sustains them. So let's get it done. Join us, synthesize with us, be open, be humble. learn from us, learn our tool sets, and we will learn yours. And we will all grow bigger and larger and more powerful together. Do not get overly fascinated by your own products, but integrate your products into our products. There was something else I was going to say that I thought was a really good point, and somehow I brain farted it. Another spiel, another sales pitch. Well, join us. Help us produce the best product we can, best project we can, so that humanity can move forward in a Game A compliant tool set that is capable of addressing any situation we come against. Does so by being flexible, right? By being adaptive. Certainty is not adaptive. Certainty is the opposite of adaptive. Having degrees of certainty is great. Having absolute certainty is death. So join us in life, join us in flexibility, join us in maneuvering our projects together as one. Oh, I remember what it was. Don't make the mistake the Academy has of thinking you need to live off of your product. I know that's hard because I have to work 40 hours a week. It's not fun. It doesn't give me the time I would like to produce the work I need to produce. But you can produce it in a longer time scale, right? Devote an hour a day, 5 days a week if you can. Devote what you can to your project. Maybe even get a job that allows you to process more while you work instead of a job that demands your thoughts. That might mean a lower pay grade. Well, it's up to you. It's up to you. But we don't have much more time, I don't think. I hope that's dramatic. I hope that's bullcrap. I hope I am overly pessimistic. Man, I hope so. I hope I'm wrong so bad. But man, things are a mess. So please join us. Thank you.